I remember when I first put my music out there. I remember feeling excited and also afraid. I was excited because for the first time I was gonna put my music out there for the world to be able to listen to it and to connect with it. And I was afraid because of the same reason. I was going to put something personal. In a way, I was gonna show a naked version of myself. But regardless, I gathered the courage and I just released it. I gotta confess that I felt very satisfied afterwards. But after a few days, I noticed that my music was getting no attraction whatsoever. Nobody listened to it on Spotify. I think that on YouTube maybe got like 1 or 2 likes, and I'm pretty sure one of those likes was mine. On social media, maybe like 4 likes, no comments. And I remember feeling very sad, disappointed, very insecure. Maybe I was the only one who liked my art, and everybody else thought that my songs were not good, Then I remember feeling angry, especially towards my close friends, because they know that this is my dream, like they know how passionate I am about this, and the least they could do was just like it. I see them liking like the silliest things ever, and it really it doesn't take money, it doesn't take anything, just just show support for like a friend's goals and dreams. So I remember feeling angry towards them and questioning our friendship. But then with time, I realized that most friends are afraid of your success. And I believe this to be a normal thing, because if you grow up with a person and the both of you have the same opportunities, right? Because you were both raised in the same environment, and one of them is aiming for something higher, what would that say about you, right? So I realized that a lot of friends will turn around in fear and they will not support their friends. But then if you fall, your friends will help you out and pick you up until you reach around their level. But if you start trying to aim higher, they will turn around again, right? But I believe this to be something normal, at least where I'm from. Anyway, back to the story. First I felt sad, then I felt angry, then I felt disappointed. I felt I wasn't good enough. It was a lost cause to even try. I'm just kind of making a fool of myself. And I kind of didn't even want to think about it until the artist in me kicked in. The uncontrollable need to express myself and to create. Even before noticing, I was writing music again, I was playing the keyboard, I was recording, I was feeling excited, and that's how the cycle continued. So that's what I did. For a while, I released a new song, sadness, anger, disappointment. Forget about it, I don't want to do it anymore. Then do it again and again and again, because the truth is that, at least me as an artist, I don't feel like I have a choice. In a way, it's how I cope with life, through art. Until a couple of years ago, when I realized that an artist is not really about trying to make one piece of work so you can just become extremely successful, but it's more about the journey, and it's about leaving a legacy no matter how small it is, no matter if you see it or not while you're alive. It's more about that way of living. I feel like an artist is more than just an entertainer. It's also a philosopher, and it's also an educator. So just to think that being an artist means being successful, and if you're not, then you are a failure, is the wrong way of thinking. Because of this new meaning of an artist, I've been enjoying the process way more. Because it is wrong to think that being an artist, you always have to be going up. An artist's life is like any other life, it goes up and down. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you make something that resonates with a lot of people, and you see that success, right? And you see that legacy, but it doesn't really have to, you know? Now, this is where the beautiful thing comes to play. Once I began to enjoy my life as an artist on a day-to-day basis, I started seeing how lucky I was. So much art is released every single day that getting one comment is so special. I started going back to old videos and old songs, and then I saw one comment from somebody from Turkey saying like how much they enjoyed my song. And then I kept looking, somebody from Mexico saying that my song really helped them go through like a difficult part of their life. And somebody from the States encouraging me to continue creating music. That's when I realized how lucky I was. To be honest, if you have 1 million views and if you have 1 million streams, right? Another view or another stream will mean less because a lot of people follow what's trendy, right? And a lot of people have FOMO, and us as human beings, we have to be accepted. So if 1 million people think that something is good, you will try to like it. But to be an artist that nobody knows and have somebody listen to your music or watch your film or, you know, look at your painting and message you, that is something. Because there's so much music being uploaded every single day. But for these people, your work was the one that spoke to them. That's why I believe that that small audience, that beginning audience, is the most important one. That's the audience you have to engage with. These people are the ones who, when nobody knows you, still support you. So be grateful. After I noticed that, I started to reply to all of them. And I gotta say that through my music, I have made a lot of great friends. I believe that if you start realizing how special it is, you will know that already you're successful. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while now because I'm sure that there is a few artists who might feel a little bit discouraged and might need to listen to this. The truth is that if you have one person or two people or three messaging you and following you, you are already doing a great job. You should know that, and you should be grateful about that. So, that's it. Bye.